Today, we're doing an explainer on something deeply personal. We're looking at 7 signs that you've been psychologically damaged without even knowing it. Look, this isn't some theoretical lesson, it's an excavation. We're digging into the hidden, invisible wounds that are silently dictating literally every move you make, every single day. Something happened to you. I want you to take a second and just sit with those words. It's a heavy thought, isn't it? It absolutely demands that you confront a harsh reality. You are carrying something unresolved. Now, you might be wondering where this all comes from. Well, the true cause is often completely hidden in time. Maybe it traces back to childhood trauma decades ago. Or maybe it happened so gradually, over so many years of a toxic relationship, that you never actually pinpointed a single moment as the root cause. You see, sometimes the most profound psychological damage is inflicted quietly, often through subtle manipulation, and sometimes, incredibly, by someone who claimed to love you. We're talking about invisible marks here. This kind of damage, it doesn't leave physical scars that you can just go and check in a mirror. Instead, these marks take up residence deep within your nervous system. They literally rewrite how you react to stress, how you relate to the people closest to you, and, fundamentally, how you view yourself. So, let's dive into sign number 1. You are always waiting for something to go wrong. You know that feeling, right? When things in your life are actually going great, but instead of just enjoying the moment, you feel deeply, deeply uneasy. Well, this is what we call hypervigilance. It's a state of chronic threat monitoring. This develops because your nervous system learned, usually pretty early on, that safety is only temporary and danger is completely unpredictable. Listen, you aren't just being a pessimist, not at all. You're living in a body that learned it's actually much safer to expect the absolute worst rather than be utterly destroyed by the sudden surprise of losing your happiness. And that constant expectation of disaster, it bleeds right into sign number 2. You cannot trust, even when you desperately want to. Just imagine someone has earned your trust completely and honestly, yet there's a part of you still sitting there just waiting for the betrayal. I want you to understand something crucial here. Trust issues are not a character flaw. They are a learned, highly protective response. Because of past manipulation, your brain essentially builds a trust detection system. If you've been betrayed before, this system becomes hardwired to detect any future betrayal. And it doesn't just magically switch off just because the person standing in front of you happens to be safe. So what ends up happening? You start pushing people away just to see if they'll stay. You constantly test their boundaries. You literally look for the exit before you've even fully entered the room. Your brain just flat out refuses to shut down those warning signals. Then there's the quiet tragedy of sign number 3. You feel emotions distantly, kind of like you're watching yourself from the outside. Something incredibly significant happens in your life, but instead of actually feeling it, you just observe yourself not feeling it. Intellectually, you know you should be terribly sad or angry or afraid, but the feeling itself is totally muted. It's distant. It honestly feels like you're watching your own life unfold from behind a thick sheet of glass. So what's actually going on in your brain here? It's called emotional numbness. It's a dissociative response. You see, your nervous system developed this little trick back when your emotions were historically way too overwhelming, or just straight up too dangerous to fully experience. Back then, it was a vital shield when you desperately needed protection from toxic environments. But here's the cruel irony. Now, that exact same shield stands firmly between you and the full, vibrant experience of your own life. Okay, this brings us to sign number 4, and I want to emphasize this one because it completely flips a really common perception upside down. Most people completely miss this connection. You might think your constant people-pleasing is just a sign of a kind, generous heart, but look at what it actually is. It's a survival strategy. It is a trauma response. You feel like you cannot stop trying to make everyone around you happy, but it really isn't born out of generosity. The painful truth is this. The adult who simply cannot say no is still a child trying to be safe. If you grew up in an environment where love was entirely conditional, where approval had to be desperately earned, well, your brain learned a very hard lesson. It learned that other people's emotional states are directly tied to your physical and emotional safety. So when you constantly apologize, when you take the blame for everyone else's bad mood, when you constantly prioritize their comfort over your own basic needs, that's not just you being nice. That is just your brain desperately trying to keep you safe. And this desperate need for safety, it manifests clearly in sign number 5. You sabotage good things before they can be taken from you. It's a really painful irony. Think about it. A relationship is actually going really well, and you actively find a reason to end it. A genuine opportunity comes up, and you find a reason why it just won't work out. True happiness is sitting right there in front of you, and you literally dig up a reason to distrust it. To understand why we do this, we really have to look at the twisted logic of self-sabotage. It goes like this. Step 1, a good thing happens. Step 2, that deep, ingrained fear of loss immediately activates. Step 3, you initiate sabotage. But why? Well, step 4, to control the outcome. It is your brain's misguided attempt to control the loss. The logic goes like this. If I destroy this myself, it can't be unexpectedly taken from me. If I leave first, I can't be abandoned. Now that logic makes perfect sense to a traumatized nervous system, but the outcome is absolutely always the same. You end up losing the exact thing you were trying to protect yourself from losing. Which brings us directly to sign number 6. You believe you must be perfect to deserve love. Not just a good person, not just kind or trying your best. No, perfect. And this leads to absolute endless exhaustion. You achieve more, you work harder, you literally never let yourself rest. Why? Because resting means letting your guard down. And letting your guard down means being seen exactly as you actually are. Because at its core, perfectionism is rarely about high standards. It is usually about shame. Being seen as ordinary, as flawed, as someone who struggles. Well, to a damaged nervous system, that feels like the absolute most dangerous, exposed thing in the entire world. You've somehow internalized the painful lie that your true, unfiltered self is simply not enough to be loved. I want you to really genuinely think about this next question. Someone loves you. What is your very first thought? Seriously, think about when someone is kind to you completely out of nowhere, or when someone gives you a genuine compliment. Does your brain just accept it, or does it instantly go on the defensive? This brings us to the core of our final sign, sign number 7. If your very first thought is, what do they want? Or they don't really mean it. Or maybe they wouldn't say that if they really knew me. Man, that is the ultimate tragedy. Sign number 7 is finding it almost impossible to receive love without deep suspicion. Because the thing you need the absolute most as a human being, genuine connection, unconditional acceptance, is the very thing your nervous system has learned to treat as the most likely source of harm. But listen to me, here is the crucial takeaway from all of this heavy material we've covered in this explainer. These 7 signs, they are not weaknesses, not at all. They are evidence. They're evidence of a brilliant, incredibly resilient nervous system that did exactly what it was supposed to do. It kept you alive and safe during childhood trauma or toxic relationships when safety was simply not guaranteed. But the reality is, you're not in that place anymore. You survived it. And healing always begins with recognition. Recognizing these invisible patterns is the very first step toward finally dismantling them. We've covered some incredibly deep ground today. Understanding the way our minds protect us is a lifelong, absolutely fascinating journey. If this explainer resonated with you today, I highly recommend checking out the creators of our source material. Make sure you subscribe to Dark Archive for more incredible deep dives into these hidden psychological truths. They open a new file every single week on the dark truths you just won't learn anywhere else. The archive is open. But before you leave, I want you to ask yourself one last thing. If your trauma has been pulling the strings your entire life, who will you become when you finally cut them? Thank you for learning with me today.